6:30.
Okay, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have been accused of ignoring certain segments of the population throughout the election. In fact, some members of the local LGBTQ group Gays Against Guns DC say they're fed up with Donald Trump.
That's right. Joining us right now, John Becker of Gays Against Guns DC and Gregory Angelo, president of Log Cabin Republicans. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
John, let me start with you. Obviously, I'm assuming you guys are not supporters of Donald Trump. Right now, when you look at both of the candidates, who is speaking more to you or what you want, or why are you fed up now with Donald Trump?
Well, we're fed up with Donald Trump because, put simply, he's in the back pocket of the NRA and the gun lobby that's profiting and making money on the backs and on the blood of thousands and thousands of Americans each year, including 49 LGBT people and allies who died at the Pulse nightclub massacre in Orlando. Donald Trump supports the NRA's agenda. He's in their back pocket, and we think it's inexcusable that he's willing to stand by and uphold their agenda while people are dying. There are so many common sense gun safety measures that majorities of Americans support, and that the only reason they're being obstructed is because of the NRA having bought off the politicians. And Donald Trump would give the NRA a blank check to continue this kind of blood money profiteering.
Gregory, I want to bring you into the conversation right now. This is certainly a much different Republican nominee that we've seen in years past, although Trump has said certain things he's advocated. Or I shouldn't say he's advocated, but let me get your sense on Log Cabin Republicans and Donald Trump and the relationship between the candidate and your ideology.
Well, to be clear, we haven't, as an organization, issued any kind of formal support or withheld support from Donald Trump one way or the other. But, you know, John just spoke about what is important to him. He's clearly a single-issue voter in this election, and his issue is erosion of our constitutional right to keep and bear arms. That's something that Donald Trump unequivocally opposes. He believes in the Constitution. He wants to preserve the Constitution, at least insofar as he has support for the Second Amendment. And what John's saying also negates the explicit outreach that Donald Trump has done to the LGBTQ community over the course of his campaign. Say what you may about Donald Trump, and obviously he's a very polarizing and very divisive character, but we have never had a Republican nominee for president that has reached out so overtly to the LGBTQ community, regardless of how this election turns out. That's historic. It marks a sea change within the Republican Party, and hopefully other Republicans will follow suit.
John, how do you respond to that?
That's, to put it politely, nonsense. Donald Trump expects to get credit for managing to sputter out the acronym LGBTQ at the Republican convention, and as though that erases or in any way negates his party's platform, which the Log Cabin Republicans admits is the most anti-LGBT platform in the entire history of that party. They oppose marriage equality. Donald Trump has pledged to appoint justices that would overturn the Obergefell decision. He opposes employment protections for LGBT people.
That's not true.
His running mate, Mike Pence, rose to national prominence by signing a bill that would create a special right to discriminate for for business owners on the basis of religion, carving out special exemptions to non-discrimination laws to single out LGBT people. His faith and advisory committees for Catholics and evangelicals are a who's who of anti-LGBT political and religious figures. Donald Trump, he says one thing when it's to the public, then he goes to right-wing conferences like the Road to Majority Conference and reassures them, I'm with you. He gets in bed with hate group leaders like Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council. Donald Trump is a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Let me jump in here. Greg, let me give you a chance to respond to that.
Thanks very much. Yeah. I mean, I could just as easily say the same thing about Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, who we just found out yesterday, believes it's totally fine as a politician to have a, quote, public position and a private position. And if you remember the LGBTQ community in this country, you probably saw that no clearer yesterday than in the leaked emails that show that even when she publicly stated that she opposed the Defense of Marriage Act, she most definitely believed in its passage at the time and still has misgivings about it. So, you know, if this is about trust, you know, I don't think it's in John's best interest nor the LGBT community's best interest to make this a referendum on trust, because if that's the case, Hillary Clinton loses.
All right, gentlemen, we appreciate you both, and we'd love to have you back in the next 30 days before the election, because there's a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about.
Thank you. Happy coming out day.
Thanks very much.